Hey guys, and welcome back to another iContrast video. Now, it has been brought to my attention that everyone on F1 2017 is a clean driver. I can tell you this because you are the one that told me this. So with that established, I thought, you know what, I'm going to actually go on to an online lobby, because I haven't in ages, and find out how clean are you guys, because I'm sure it's going to be perfect racing, absolutely perfect side-by-side racing, and we're all going to get along nicely, and hopefully we can win a race. Obviously, we're going to start from the back of the grid to make this more interesting and see if we can get any further up. Maybe do a last to first challenge, something like that. But we've already got 2 positions straight off the start. Make that 3 as we go around the outside of the Haas. Make that 2 as we go down the inside of another Haas, his teammate, who gives me a little bit of a squeeze down the inside there. And I had to kind of shove him off as there's just contact everywhere. This is definitely not Peggy 3 stuff, and that Red Bull's almost taken out that McLaren as cars go everywhere across the road, and I'm just managing to get through there somehow. I absolutely have no idea, but we're up into P9 already, straight from the start, as that Red Bull runs really wide, and that McLaren's going to get punted off the road and gets a face full of sand for his efforts. I'm going to cut this corner to try and avoid this Max for crashing, but he's going to shove me off the road, but that's okay because he can have the road all to himself, and we're going to just pull in behind him for now and see if we can pick up on any mistakes that he might throw. And there's 2 cars off, and we go up the inside of Max for crashing there, and he runs wide as well. So we make up another 2 positions heading down the back straight now as we move up into P5, and we're behind our Williams, I believe, heading into this long left-hander, and we run a bit wide there, so it's going to hinder our exit coming out of that corner. But we should be able to catch up to this guy fairly shortly. We are really close to the front of the grid, so we don't have many positions to go if we're going to hunt down that first place from last place. We've almost completed our first lap, and we're already up into P5, so we've made a whole heap of progress, and we only need to make up another 4 spots if we're going to complete this challenge. So we've got Dante, I think that's his name, in front of us, as somebody else sets the fastest lap of the race, somebody that's coming first, as we get a really nice run on him. No DRS at this point though, but we do have slipstream and rich fuel mix as he goes to the inside and then goes to the outside, defends twice pretty erratically, and we're going to sell it down the inside like it's free real estate. But he's actually going to fight it back and shove us off the track, as we just managed to get back onto the track before we end up into the kitty litter, and we're going to go up the inside, but he defends to the inside, so we switch to the outside just to make sure we don't run up to the back of him and break our front wing. So he's going to be defending quite dangerously, it seems, as we go up the inside as he runs wide, and he's still side by side with us somehow, but we get the job done, braking nice and late for this corner, take a bit of iron. We've been hit off by Dante, who felt the need that he got overtaken, and he felt not having it, and he just plows into us. So now we're back down to 6th position, it seems, and we've got it all to do now with 2 of the drivers that we already overtook earlier on now ahead of us, so it shouldn't take too long before we get back into the front of them. So hopefully we can make a move on them sooner rather than later, as this Red Bull's going really slow and almost brake checks us going through that left-hander, and we're going to try and make a move as soon as possible. He brakes halfway through that right-hander, which was really odd, and he took a really weird racing line, caught me off guard, and we almost get put in the wall there. I had to do a bit of reversing there, a bit like Austin Powers, and I had to get out of there. So back onto the road now, down in 9th position this time, just due to being caught out to slow drivers there going through a mid-corner. But we've got a lot of work to do now if we've got any chance of getting on the podium at least. But it's only lap 2, so anything can happen from this point on. It didn't take very long, but all I had to do was follow the path of destruction to find these 2 cars going at it, as we do make a move on the back straight, and not much that Haas could do about it, as we go up the inside and manage to pull to the racing line before we take that left-hander and run a little bit wide there, more than I would have liked as well again. And on lap 3 now, so we got to try and catch up to the guys ahead as quick as possible now. No more drawbacks. We can't afford any more time to be lost if we want to get further up the grid at this point. But we still have our front wing amazingly. I don't know how we haven't broken it yet. So we got one advantage at least, and that should be a little bit more downforce than most of the cars around us being filled with damage. Here we go on lap 4, making another move on a McLaren. And quite simply down the inside, not much he was going to defend and up into P6 now, so only 3 more positions to go before we can get onto the podium. So we've caught up to this Dante guy again, who plowed into us at a hairpin, and he's broke check us going through that left-hander, and I didn't really have anywhere to go. I wasn't expecting him to go so slow through there, and we still haven't broken our front wing somehow, but there's only 1 sector to go now, as we have 3 cars in front of us. One runs really wide and loses the back end, almost comes back onto the track and swipes us off. That was Dante there, and we get broke checked by the guy in front of us, who is being held up by a back marker, I believe, who's trying to take him out. 1 corner to go now, but this back marker is going to absolutely try to wreak havoc, as Jack Smooth is going to try and take us out and pushes us into the wall. But we came so close to finishing that race, about 20 or 30 meters away from the finish line, and we had Jack Smooth take us out. So bullyhunters.org. We're going to move on to Japan now and hopefully change a bit of our luck. We're still going to do the last of first challenge. We're already 16th on the grid, so we're going to let everyone pass and pull over to the side of the road as soon as the lights go out, which they have right now, and away we don't go as we let everyone through. So not only are we giving everyone an advantage, but hopefully we can avoid the big crash that always happens in the first couple of corners around any online lobby, as we go around the outside of about like 4 or 5 cars there. I have no idea, getting a legal overtake, but we're going to ignore that because I'm not going to give that position back after all the carnage, as we go into a Mercedes there, and we've lost a bit of our front, well, basically all of our front wing there, as a Force Unit gets punted off there.
Now that's a lot of damage!
Now, I really have no words to describe what you're witnessing right now on this screen. And we eventually get out of it, but then, yeah, I actually came close to rage quitting. That's why I opened up the menu screen there. But, yeah, you basically could put any meme over that and it would still be funny.
How it feels to chew 5 gum. New 5 gum. Stimulate your senses.
Anyways, we managed to get out of there alive somehow, and we have a Ferrari off the track, and he's going to come on just to try and punt us with an unsafe re-entry, but we managed to get by that without ruining our race any further, and unfortunately I don't think there's any redeeming this race from this point on. And despite the fact that we absolutely have no front wing, we do have a Toro Rosso that we've caught up to, and well, rather than overtaking him, he's going to cut the entire 3rd sector, it seems, and gets back in front of us somehow. So we're going to try and hunt him down. I think he has no front wing as well, I'd assume so. There's not much else happening in this race, so we're going to try and make it entertaining for ourselves as we take turn 1 and turn 2 all right, and then he's going to run wide there and go onto the grass. So we've already made the move done, and well, there's not much else happening, is there? So after that appalling effort in Japan, we're going to move on to Australia, and I can sense it. This is going to be our race. We're going to start off from the back of the grid. We're going to let everyone through as we pull to the side of the road, let that Sauber through as well, as we didn't qualify for the race. But we're going to make this a real last to first challenge, so we make sure we go to the last of the grid, and we already overtake a Red Bull going really slow there through turn 1, and we also overtake a Williams around the outside through turn 2. And here we go, we're closing up onto the cars in front of us. We make another position there, going up the inside of the Renault here, as it gets really tight through here, and he's going to just shove us off the track. That's okay, mate, you can have all the track to yourself. Really, I don't need it at all, as we go up the inside anyways, as he runs off the track with no help of myself. And well, he'll be kicking himself about that one, as we now have 2 cars going side by side. It makes it hard to know what they're doing with the laggy connection from the Europeans, I think. And you really don't know what's going on half the time in these online lobbies as they go side by side. I'm going to make it 3 wide, and it's going to be a double overtake. I had to take a little bit of grass there just to avoid that crash there. I think somebody crashed out. I think it was the Renault, as we cut that corner like absolute Swiss cheese, and I almost lose the back end there. So I've lost a whole heap of time, but we're up into 4th place after only 1 lap. It make that 6th place now, as we get overtaken by 2 people around the outside and the inside. I cut that corner again just to make sure I represent all the league races out there. And we're going to go up the inside of this Renault as he runs wide, might have front wing damage or just understeered wide there. So that's another position for us, up into P5 now, only after 1 lap from last to 5th place, so we're really in the game now, and hopefully we can push on, at least get a podium. I think we're doing really well for the amount of time we have spent on track so far, and we got to really try and chase down this car in front of us if we want to make any more progress up the field, and try not to be held up by any defensive maneuvers from this guy in front. So it's all about taking nice racing lines and hitting those apexes constantly. But we're all over the back of him now, piling on the pressure. Hopefully he can make a mistake, so that way we don't have to overtake him on track. And he runs wide through the S section, and we manage to get up the inside of him. And that's another position as we go up another position, because there was a Force India sideways on the track. So now we're already into the podium. The win is within touching distance. We just got to push hard from now on and hope for some bad luck for the leaders, because they are quite a margin ahead of us, and I don't know if we can catch them within like 3 laps. So we've got it all to do now. We've got to work really hard, make no mistakes from here on out, and try to push as hard as we can. But on lap 4 now, the leaders have gone really slow here. I think somebody has been having a tangle with the back markers here, and that is first place right in front of us. So now we have all the work to do for this last lap. It's just me and him, a 1 versus 1 battle for 1 lap, and hopefully we can make a maneuver. It's really hard to make an overtake here in Australia, so we've got to make absolutely no mistakes and stay right onto the back of him. Hopefully he can make a mistake, something that I can benefit from, and that's the only way I can really see us getting past him for this final lap of the race. There's only a couple of opportunities, and we just went past one, being turn 3, so there's not many opportunities left to go. It would have to be a very difficult overtake if we're going to make it from here on out, but we definitely need to get close if we have any opportunity of making any sort of attempt at all. And here's another opportunity to overtake into this corner, but we're just too far back, and I don't think we're going to be close enough. Maybe 3rd sector would be our only opportunity, and it really depends on your run coming out of this S section. It can make or break your lap going through here, so we're going to make sure we hit our apexes, and we probably hit them too good then because we cut a little bit, but I'm sure the guys in front of us also cut that corner a fair bit throughout this race. So he's gone defensive, which is a big mistake though, because I wasn't close enough to even make a move. So we're going to go up the inside of this fast right-hander, and he's ran wide there, but he's going to go back onto the racing line sort of as we go up the inside on the penultimate corner. He's going to try and do the switchback, but we're going to hold the inside line going through the final corner. He's going to have the better exit, as he does have the better racing line going through that final corner. As he goes side by side with me, it's going to be neck and neck towards the line, and we just win by absolutely nothing almost. Less than a 1/10 of a second was the difference. Man, he must be raging. I absolutely stole it from him in the last corner of the last lap of the race. What a race that was. If you liked it, be sure to leave a like and subscribe for more new content. Hopefully you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you all in a brand new one. Thank you ever so much for watching.